My neighbor, something exploded, blood everywhere.
It exploded in the house.
There's been an explosion at the real estate sign.
For 19 days, a bomber held the city of Austin hostage, locking its residents in a state of terror.
How many more bombs are sitting on somebody's front step right now?
6 bombs, killing 2 and wounding 5 others. Tonight, we take you inside the hunt for one of the most prolific bombers in American history.
In the history of this country, we haven't had a serial bomber that planted this many devices in a 19-day period.
Every day means he's still out there.
You are racing the clock and you're trying to make the madness stop.
On the ground and at the scenes with the Austin police.
It's a tripwire.
The bomb squad.
Fire the hole!
And with unprecedented access to the government's top law enforcement agencies.
Looked at the chief and said, we obviously have a serial bomber. We need to set up a national command post here.
From the ATF agents and the FBI.
The bomber's car was directly over this hedgerow in this corner.
Revealing new and never-before-seen details on how they pieced together the puzzle. And how it all came down to this Home Depot surveillance footage leading them to those gloves that brought them to that truck. And the one specialist to identify the man who eluded them for over 2 weeks.
I got to about the 7th name, and it was the bomber's name.
We've got him.
And we're inside the final moments, one final chase.
I told them, whatever you do, you've got to stop him before he gets on the interstate.
Austin, Texas, a colorful capital city known for live music and barbecue.
There's a lot of good things that are going for Austin. We bill ourselves as the live music capital of the world. We've got a very vibrant nightlife. Most people in Austin feel safe about the city.
But that sense of security would be shattered on the morning of March 2nd, 2018.
Breaking news in Northeast Austin. One person is in the hospital after an explosion at a home.
911, do you need...
Hey, I don't know what's going on. My neighbor, something exploded or something. There's blood everywhere. We need an ambulance immediately.
39-year-old Anthony Stephen House opened a package left outside his door, unknowingly detonating a bomb.
Step on. All right, step on.
Is he breathing?
Police racing to the scene, and for the bomb squad, this would be the first time that they had dealt with a real bomb.
After we were there a few minutes, we realized that we had a victim and the type of injuries the victim has sustained. I think at that point we realized we had some sort of bombing.
There is no information that we have right now to believe this is anything other than an isolated incident.
A most unusual method of murder, one that brought in teams from the FBI and ATF to analyze the scene, but all seemed to agree that this was a one-off.
Everyone thought that this was a one fatal bombing.
For the Austin police and bomb squad in particular, it was already a busy time of year. In a week, the South by Southwest Festival would begin. As seen in these promotional videos, over 400,000 people would pour into America's 11th largest city. Then, on March 12th,
My grandson is hurt, my daughter's hurt. Please hurt me. They're on their way. They opened a package from outside and it exploded in the house.
another package bomb had exploded, killing 17-year-old Draylon Mason and injuring his mom.
As we're getting ready to go in and start processing that scene, that's when the third device functions.
5 hours later, another explosion would send bomb technicians scrambling.
When I heard the bomb squad commander say we have another device, I thought, in the United States, this normally is what we see happening overseas.
You guys must have been thinking, are we under attack?
You think,
well, what is happening here?
Yeah.
Hey guys, back away, back away. Hey guys, it might be a bomb, so back off a little bit, okay?
That third bombing severely wounding 75-year-old Esperanza Herrera.
At the third scene is when I looked at the chief and said, Chief, we obviously have a serial bomber. We need to set up a national command post here.
All right, is everybody ready? It is important that people be vigilant and be aware for things that look suspicious. If you have had a package show up at your home and you were not expecting a delivery, if the package that is delivered to your doorstep looks suspicious in any way, call 911, report it.
6 days later, no suspects would be named as the city remained on edge. Chief Manley giving another presser, this time speaking directly to the bomber.
We hope this person or persons is watching and will reach out to us before anyone else is injured or anyone else is killed out of this event.
Hours later, the bomber would seemingly respond.
There's been an explosion at the real estate sign.
An explosive triggered by a tripwire, and when detonated, it injured 2 men. The device concealed by a red sign.
I walked over kind of towards this area. I don't remember exactly, but I know it was pretty close to here. And there was a bicycle in the middle of the street, and these 2 young men were right here on the sidewalk.
Officer Seth Modell was among the first on the scene.
Look at them, look at the fence, and realize that I was looking at shrapnel.
Hey, we have a confirmed shrapnel.
I had to start thinking like I was a soldier again in Iraq, and I realized that this is a bomb. And I just started walking slowly. And I shined my flashlight, just looking. And I just started doing what a soldier would do. And I was like, there's got to be something here.
It's a tripwire.
The device was placed on the ground, and he covered the device with the sign to conceal it somewhat. The tripwire ran across the sidewalk here and was probably only about 3 inches off the ground, and it was anchored to a metal stake somewhere around this location. This entire wall was just covered with pop marks from the shrapnel that was propelled from the device.
It's a tough message to deliver to your community. You're telling them, be concerned about anything. I can't give you a description of what that is, but if you see anything that looks out of place, you need to call us.
We want everyone within a half-mile radius of this intersection of Dawn Song Drive and Republic of Texas back here in Travis Country to stay inside your homes until we have had a chance to deem this neighborhood safe.
A tripwire, a technique typically used in war zones, it told him that the bomber was growing in cunning and confidence.
Are you thinking to some degree that this is a signal to you that he's toying with you?
I think it was a signal. We also were very concerned because of the change in the bomb, the sophistication of the bomb, which now led us back to thinking, could this be a terrorist?
We had people of interest throughout this investigation, and that the night of the tripwire device, we knew where those people were, and they were nowhere near that. So unfortunately, the morning we started processing that scene, we were at square one.
Breaking news, a package exploding at a FedEx facility.
Then, on the night of March 19th, a 5th explosion. This time, a package awaiting shipment inside a FedEx sorting facility just outside of San Antonio. That bomb injuring 1 employee.
There were nails in the bomb. Package was going to Austin.
That elevated our concerns tremendously because now you're shipping something. And before, we knew they were placed.
Meaning it could be anywhere in the country.
And we didn't know how many.
It was the bomber's 3rd method of delivery. Police had just received their first big break.
We found out subject mailed 2 packages, one of which was now in Austin. I called the FedEx facility in Austin, described the package to the manager, and he said, yes, we have that particular box, and he said it's on the dock for outbound delivery. So at that point, I told the manager, that is a live improvised explosive device, evacuate the building, and then called the bomb squad.
By dawn, the APD bomb squad had arrived on the scene.
We immediately sent one of our robots inside and look at the package, get the tracking numbers off of it, and see that, yes, this was it.
The package that the bomb squad safely intercepted had been marked for delivery that same day, the tracking number leading the authorities to this FedEx store.
He was wearing a disguise when he walked into the FedEx, and he was wearing gloves. FedEx employee said he went and got into a red Ford Ranger.
The fact that he walked in brazenly, that was his biggest mistake.
Authorities reached out to Home Depot, where they believed the bomber may have purchased supplies. The Home Depot Organized Retail Crime Division works in tandem with law enforcement for these kinds of situations.
We were then able to identify those gloves, come up with a product identification number, and combined with that and the sign is where we were able to generate the 1 receipt purchased here in Round Rock.
After scouring hours of surveillance footage, they found him.
See, when he walked into the building, he asked the door greeter some questions, kind of asking where certain items were.
He purchased a red sign like this, reading, "Drive like your kids live here," used in the tripwire explosion, and gloves he would wear to drop off those packages at FedEx. He can be seen exiting the Home Depot and getting into his vehicle. As that information was being called into the command center, a team of FBI analysts immediately started searching for the person who had purchased those supplies and owned that red truck.
I was systematically going through each name and just looking at what kind of vehicle would this person have. And I got to about the 7th name. It was the bomber's name. And I conducted a search to find out what kind of vehicle he had. It was exactly the vehicle that we were looking for.
You're taking the information in real time and actually basically finding the suspect.
Yes, which is why it was a heart-stopping moment. And I got goosebumps. I knew this is something good.
Finally, what eluded them for 18 days, they had the identity of the bomber. They began the process of preparing search warrants, but it was already late.
So we decided that we were going to hold and execute that warrant at sunup without making any further notice.
But you never did get to sunup, did you?
We didn't.
Air to ground, he's on the move.
Next, the hunt for the bomber intensifies.
I told them, whatever you do, you've got to stop him before he gets on the interstate.
Got an explosion, got an explosion.
Stay with us.
Hi everyone, George Stephanopoulos here. Thanks for checking out the ABC News YouTube channel. If you'd like to get more videos, show highlights, and watch live event coverage, click on the right over here to subscribe to our channel, and don't forget to download the ABC News app for breaking news alerts. Thanks for watching.